guys, this is Ocean. This is going to be a general reading for April Fool's Day because I was thinking I would do something different. So what I did was randomly generating numbers and assigning them to randomly, I mean from left to right, to my decks and pulling out three cards of Fools, as in past, present and future spread, and just, getting some insight from the Fools, because why not? It's April's Fools, and yeah, I think that's fitting. At least that's what I was thinking, and hopefully this is going to be useful. So the randomly picked decks are the Hush Tarot, the Tarot of the Abyss, and the Joie de Vivre. And in the past we have the Hush Tarot, which is quite interesting because I was just on a channel where we read with the Hush Tarot, so it's kind of interesting that one of the decks, the first one that came out, was the Hush Tarot. So in the past position we have the Hush, and I'm gonna show you guys all because why not? In the present we have the Tarot of the Abyss, and in the future we have the Joie de Vivre, and hopefully you can see that because this is a new setup, that if you look at these three cards just before going into any details, these two are facing left, but the one on the right, which is representing the future, is looking on towards the future on the right, which is unusual for the Fool, because usually the Fool is depicted in this way where it's looking to the left. So I kind of like that immediately when I check the cards, because it makes me hopeful, and the whole meaning or general association with the Fool is anyway an energy where we're called to trust that whatever is happening, it's happening for us and not with us. I think that's how you say it. That it's not against us, no matter how horrible or hard it seems. In the moment, we're called to trust ourselves and trust that the decisions that we are making, when they are coming from that gut feeling, that part of our soul, or our souls that knows what's best for us in the 3D, that it's going to add to our lives and not take from it. So in the past position we have this little guy, this ferret, and even though I read yesterday the guidebook, I kind of forgot what it says, but I know that it's talking about ferrets being smart and curious, and I kind of getting the feeling, because it's in the past position, that we need to let go of the old things that are came to a natural end in our lives. Because if you look at it, these flowers kind of look like they are already dried up, that they are finishing a cycle, so to speak, but this little guy is holding on to them. And what serves us right now is letting go of old patterns, old thinkings, old feelings, old people even, but not in a way as in literally not old people, but people whose path are just going in a different direction than ours, which can be a hard thing, but that can be a message in this position. In the current present we still have someone who's facing backwards, because I think at these times are calling for taking a hard look at the past and how and why history is seemingly repeating itself, which is can be a very hard and scary thing to do, but it's also something that's necessary. But when we are doing that, we are reminded that we shouldn't lose our hope for the future, and the hope that we're going to land on our feet, you know. On this card, these rays are a light that's coming from down under, and you know, you don't know what that light represents, but it's there and it's coming, and it's kind of feeling like a positive thing, because you know, the Fool card generally is a positive thing. So that's also why I was thinking about doing this reading, because I want some hope and courage out in the world as much as I can do that. So currently, you know, we're still looking back a bit more than we should, but we have, and also, I just noticed that, you know, the Harsh Tarot is very monochrome. It has brownish and blackish colors. Interestingly, even though I colored the Tarot of the Abyss, I left the Fool without any color, because I was thinking that this is the, you know, the first card, and this is the starting point, and it's a blank sheet. So, you know, there's not a lot of colors in these two cards, but with the future, we have the Joie de Vivre, which is a colorful and very much detailed card. And I just like that, like I said, it's looking ahead in the right direction, so to speak. It's colorful, so it's a much more optimistic Fool than the other two in a way. And I kind of like that it has a lot of growing happening in the card, a lot of flowers, a lot of tiny animals, and even spiders. You know, spiders are not inherently horrible creatures. We have some association with them because of how humans dealt with them in the past, but trust me, there are worse things than spiders, and I know that by now, because stink bugs, for example, sting more. But they can represent, you know, the web, the connection with other people, with higher power, with the world in general. So yeah, I kind of like that, you know, that this is the future Fool, because it makes it easier to be, at least for me, and I hopefully for you guys as well, it makes it easier to look at the future a bit more positively. Not like, you know, nothing is wrong with the other two, you know, this is not a competition. Just in this context, I appreciate that this is a colorful and, you know, right-sided? No, how do you say that? Directionally, not challenged, directionally right-sided card. Because we need to find hope and, you know, be a bit like the Fool and trust, and work on that trust with the universe, within ourselves, within the universe, within human beings. So yeah, happy April's Fool's Days. Hopefully no one plays any particularly bad jokes on you. I hate those things, so that's why this is not a joke, it's just a tiny reading. And yeah, thank you so much for bearing with me and allowing me to take some space and time away from the channel. I'm trying to get back on things and schedule. Even though I'm changing things up, I'm not sure what I'm gonna keep and what I'm gonna transform, but I'm gonna post for sure, and I'm gonna have conversations and people's on. So yeah, thanks so much for being here. Wishing you a lovely 1st of April and a better April than March was, and see you in the next one. Bye.